You can see here now that crews are working to install the new cameras in the jail. The sheriff says this is the first step of many to protect inmates and employees. The Zarnett brothers were planning to set off 6 bombs in New York's Times Square, but their plan fell apart when the SUV they carjacked ran out of gas in Watertown. Here you can still see the shattered glass from how the robber broke into the home. Police say this is just the latest in a string of robberies that has had this Decatur neighborhood on edge for months. DeKalb County is making some changes to save taxpayer dollars. Some sanitation workers will work 4 days a week instead of 5. Police say that 20-year-old Adam Lanza burst into his mother's kindergarten classroom this morning and shot her before shooting most of the 5- and 6-year-olds in her class. Police say that Lanza then killed himself. 80 million Americans don't go to the doctor or don't get medication because they can't afford it. According to a new survey, the main reason is that many folks don't have insurance. But the 28% of the people polled actually have good insurance and still don't get treatment. They blame high deductibles and copays. Neighbors fear the robberies won't stop and that they just aren't safe in their own homes. If you have any information on the robberies, you're asked to call DeKalb Police. Reporting in Decatur, Kalia Baker, Channel 2 Action News. This crosswalk has parents very concerned about the morning commute to school. They say drivers are careless and simply ignoring the school zone regulations. This is a beautiful service here this morning at the Big Bethel AME Church, where friends and family gather to remember the life of longtime activist and business leader Jesse Hill Jr. This is surveillance video from the last home that a burglar hit. For more than 1 hour, you can see him going back and forth from the home, trying the door handle, unscrewing the security lights, then finally cutting the alarm before using a rock to break the window and get inside.
It was just a predator. He sat there and waited until I left and then finally came in.
Yolanda Buford says she and other neighbors feel violated. She had just gone to Bible study Wednesday night when the man got away with laptops, jewelry, perfume, and he took it all out in bags.
How he entered in, he come from the hill, so he's on foot. I think it's more than one person, actually. I do. Because too many homes have been getting hit too frequently.
House is down here at the end. My neighbor right here.
Hassan Wade lives across the street and says there have been more than a dozen break-ins in the last few months. Some homes are hit 2 and 3 times.
What they're doing is they're going up and they're cutting the cable feed. So once they cut that cable feed and or the phone lines, then your alarm is disabled.
DeKalb detectives are working on the string of cases, but the video is the biggest lead so far.
Home surveillance, I have an alarm, I have a dog, and this person is bold enough to still come into your home. I feel that we're taxpayers and we just want more surveillance or somebody to ride through more frequently. Neighbors fear the robberies won't stop and that they just aren't safe in their own homes. If you have any information on the robberies, you're asked to call DeKalb Police. Reporting in Decatur, Kalia Baker, Channel 2 Action News. The whole neighborhood has come together. They're very concerned about what happened to this young girl and say they want the suspect caught.
I just was really scared for, my kids who are really young. And
Jonathan Russell's concern has become the whole neighborhood's concern. Russell's kids aren't school age yet, but he's still very worried about their safety.
I'm really nervous about letting them do anything on their own outside. Raking leaves the other day, I don't really want to take my eyes off them.
The 12-year-old victim attends Inman Middle School. When she got to school Thursday morning, she realized she forgot her bike lock and went home to get it. As she got closer to home, she noticed a gold 4-door sedan circling the block twice. Before she knew it, the same man had followed her into her home.
This is a relatively safe neighborhood, compared to many, so this is unusual.
The victim says the man began moving toward her and suggested that they go upstairs. She screamed, kicked, and ran out of the house.
Really important for the children to know what to do in case of an emergency. To sort of teach them if there is an issue what to do. This child seemed to know what to do, and that was a good thing.
Police are looking for a white male around 6'1". He's said to be clean-shaven with blonde hair and was last seen wearing a navy blue coat and jeans.
It's a reminder that we have to be so careful now with our children.
For many neighbors, this incident is startling. They say they'll be doing all that they can to make sure that their families are safe. In Northeast Atlanta, Kalia Baker, Channel 2 Action News. Good morning, I'm Kalia Baker. 4 guards at the Baltimore City Jail allegedly became pregnant by one inmate, a gang leader. That allegation is part of a massive corruption bust. 13 female guards are accused of allowing gang leaders to run the place. Prosecutors say guards smuggled drugs and phones to help them in their money-making schemes. One inmate allegedly bought a Mercedes while in jail, and the indictment alleges that some of the guards got to drive it. A Forsyth County man woke up this morning to find that his yard had been vandalized. Channel 2's Markia Thomas was there on the scene when the man described what turned out to be a cruel school prank. Georgia Power made a request with state officials to reduce your bill. The company says mild summer weather led to lower fuel costs and an increase in the supply of natural gas. That means if the state approves the request, the average bill will drop by about $8. The new rates would go into effect January 1st. Some schools in California and New Mexico have banned one snack food. It's so popular it spawned its own YouTube video. Each bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos contains 26 grams of fat and 1/4 of the daily recommended amount of sodium. Experts warn the flavoring is addictive.
Our brain is really hardwired to find things like fat and salt really rewarding. And now we have foods that have them in such high levels it could trigger an addictive process.
Frito-Lay says it's committed to marketing its product responsibly. A plane made an emergency landing without a landing gear. Take a look at this. This was in Gardner, Kansas. The pilot realized the gear was stuck, then the backup system failed. Her co-pilot even broke out the manual, but she did not panic. She made a beautiful landing on the plane's belly, and thankfully nobody was hurt.